Welcome to Marsha's Plate, a Black trans-inclusive feminist podcast. A place where we know that not everybody is invited to the cookout. And we also know that every single day is a brand new day, and we have the power to make a difference today. So let's do this.
It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to turn it all around again. It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to start over again. Tuesday, when the sun rises, you can start over again. A new day, you can make it better than yesterday. It's a new day, it's a new day, new day. There's a way you can turn it around. Trust me, there's a way out. There's more time. Just don't give up. When the sun rises on a new day, you got another chance. Yeah, 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 yeah. A new day, you got another chance.
If you want to join the conversation, you can hashtag Marsha's Plate. You can follow us on most social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Just search for Marsha's Plate, MARSHASPLATE. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Hey, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on, girl?
Oh, child. It's my birthday week. I feel so amazing to be alive.
Yes, I feel pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay.
Yes, all of that.
Yes, honey. What do you have planned for your bizarre?
I plan on doing something, I travel for my birthday every year, so I am going to be visiting some continent that I have never been to before and, be real tourist about it, and I'm excited. My goal is to be petting on some kangaroos or something, if that gives you a hint.
Down under.
Down under.
Down under with the Dundee. Honey, yes. I live for it.
So,
Honey, yeah, I wanna go down under too. You know it's a ballroom scene down there.
yeah, actually on my birthday, the day of, there is a LGBT Mardi Gras in Sydney, and that's where I'm going to be for my birthday.
Oh, yes, that sounds constant. Honey, let me find out. Let me find out the next trip I got a plan is going to be Mardi Gras in Sydney, honey. The queer Mardi Gras, honey, in Sydney. Is this going to be your first time down there?
Yes, I have never been in this area of the world. And so I'm going to be doing nerdy ass shit. I'm going to go to that and be fabulous and gay. But I'm also going because it's only like 2 hours away. I'm also going to New Zealand, Auckland. I'm going to fly over there and go to the glowworm caves of New Zealand. You can Google it. It's really pretty. So I'm going to go there and be nerdy because they glow bioluminescence. And it's some underwater caves where you can do a little tour for like $92. And they take you to the underwater caves where the worms are fucking and glowing in a dark cave. This is what they're breeding.
Oh, honey. Honey, giving a whole new meaning to get them glow.
Get them glow.
A whole new get them glow. Honey, apparently if you glowing, you are getting them, honey.
Right. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing to get what that tea is. And then I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm gonna do I combine that with a tour of, they got a little town called Hobbit Town where it looks like the Shire from Lord of the Rings. So I'm gonna go there and be,
geek out.
A fishy Gandalf.
God there and geek out, honey.
Right. Be
I see that.
Galadriel with some long locks, the queen of the
Honey, yeah.
wood.
I can't even give you no reference. I can't even give you no tea because that goes above my geekometer, honey. That goes above my status, honey. I ain't there. I ain't there yet, honey. I ain't with the Lord of the Rings yet.
I love a Lord of the Rings. But yeah, how are you faring through these blizzards and things in your area?
Girl, honey, you know I live for the weather phenomena, honey. As long as it ain't taking a bitch out, honey, I'm prepared for the snow. That just gives me an excuse to not feel bad about being in the house and being my typical introverted hermit, agoraphobic, borderline agoraphobic. Like that gives me allowance to sit in the house without feeling guilty about it, you know. But the snow is beautiful. We actually in this particular area that I'm in, we didn't get hit as hard as expected. They were expecting 2 to 4 inches for us. Um, we just got a light covering. Like it was a nasty covering, but it wasn't cold enough here for it to stick. So by the time I woke up, which was this afternoon, don't judge me for waking up in the afternoon. When I woke up in the afternoon, most of it had melted, and of course, the roads were clear. Honey, the recycling came last night. The recycling people came this morning to pick the recycling up, so that gives you an idea of how they wasn't
Nothing.
really bothered here. But they did prepare. They did close the schools and all that. But where I'm from, in the more rural area where I'm from on the Eastern Shore, I heard they got hit bad. I heard they got hit with a foot or more down there, a foot or more of snow down there. But it's blowing my mind. We was talking earlier, and you talking about temperatures in the 60s, 70s, and 80s in various parts of this damn country, honey.
When I left Houston, so I've been in Atlanta for the weekend because I am on the Transgender Law Center's board, and we had our board meeting. Amazing work they're doing over there. Um, and when I left Houston, it was in the late 70s, the high 70s, not late 70s, high 70s. And
Mm-hmm.
when I got to Atlanta, it was in the 70, high 70s too. It was warm. Baby, the day I left this morning and it was cold. It was in the 40s. So I hadn't brought a jacket. So I was like, God, I'm gonna be freezing. Get to Houston
Mm.
and it's no longer in the 70s and 80s, it's in the 60s. So not cold like up there, but it was still 60s. And for us, 50s and 60s is a little nippy.
It's a bit much, honey. Honey, I was just telling you that, honey. It's in the 60s in my damn house with the heat on. So I'm not understanding the plight. I'm not understanding the problem, honey. I also wonder. I have definitely wondered because I have survived in Atlanta. I've definitely survived in Atlanta. But I feel like in Atlanta, it never got hotter than it typically gets in the summer here in Maryland.
Hmm.
So I could survive there, but I commonly question whether I could survive in a place like where you are, like in Houston, where sometimes the temperatures get to the point where they melt and shit outside. Like,
Triple
Miss
digits.
Ma'am. Baby, honey, we'll get a triple digit here, but I still ain't seen shit melt. I don't know if it be because of the sea level or the humidity or the wind chill or what. I don't know what be going on, but I ain't never seen a motherfucking thing here melt. And the skin might melt off your feet if you run on that concrete barefoot.
What's the hottest heat that you've ever been in?
102
Where?
here.
Oh, it got 100 too? Okay.
Here, Atlanta as well. About 100 to 103. I've never been anywhere where it's been more than 105 degrees
Mm.
at any given time. What about you? Like, have you been like how hot does it typically get in Houston in
Uh,
the summer?
Our extreme, our extreme is gonna be like with extreme being rare, but I've seen it. It's gonna be like
Mm-hmm.
110, 100. That's the highest I think I've ever seen here, where it was like, oh, what's happening? Like 107, 109, 110. Now the hottest I've ever been in is 120 in Phoenix, Arizona.
What? What? Now Phoenix is known for that. I remember growing up and it was like even in movies and like in pop culture when people would reference the temperatures in Phoenix, honey, they would talk about how you could fry your food outside, how you could cook your food outside. All you need to do was put a skillet on a rock or put a skillet on a piece of concrete or something, honey, and you was out there cooking, honey. But I'm thinking like, bitch, if your eggs can fry in that temperature, like ain't you frying? Ain't your brain frying? Like
Well, not your brain,
what's going?
but your body. The darkest I've ever been in my life was when I went to Phoenix and just chilled. I fell asleep on a pool chair,
Uh-huh.
and I woke up, and baby, my whole body was brown. I had never been that dark. I live for it because I love being the bronze goddess, honey.
You
But
got a brown, yeah. You had an Ashanti thing going on, honey.
yeah, it was literally I was like Ashanti's color, and it was
Yeah.
like,
Did you
whoa,
comb your sideburns down?
no. I
you
just
want
flipped
you wanted
over.
to
I
let
flipped over and tried to get the other side to match the side that I have fell asleep on.
Lord, honey, giving a fucked up bleach, giving like you had fucked up the bleach and had only bleached the back.
Right. So it was good. I loved it. Now what I didn't love is when that shit started to peel, honey. I
Mm.
was like, oh, and it was giving honey lizard scale, like a fucking
Uh-huh.
snake scaling. So, but that's the highest heat that I've ever been in, and I've been in that twice. I remember when I was 11, I got off a Greyhound bus in Phoenix, and it was like 2021. And coming from as a kid, coming from Indiana, I had never experienced that, and I fainted. I woke up to the
I'm
people over me
I'm
about
sure
to
I
call
would
the
have too.
ambulance, but they didn't.
I'm sure I would have too. I told this story before on my platforms. Not sure if I told it here, but I had thought you know I'm epileptic. For who don't know, I'm epileptic. For all who don't know what epilepsy is, it's basically just a label for people who have seizures. Um, yeah, I'm epileptic, and I thought that I could have potentially been having seizures, like I was losing time. I was losing time, but when these instances would happen where I would lose time, I would always be alone. But and so I had mentioned it to my mom and mentioned it to some of my other family members. Like, I think it's possible that I might be fainting or having seizures or something. One time I was going to the bathroom and I blacked out, and next thing I remember, I was like curled around the toilet, around the porcelain of the toilet. Yes. And so I told my mom about it, and long story short, I was in the drill team, and we were practicing for a parade performance, and it was hot as fuck outside. This was one of those 102, 103-degree days, honey. And baby, that's what happened to me. I not only fell out, but bitch, I was convulsing too. And
Mm.
that's how I ended up going through the process of finding out that I was epileptic.
Mm. I think that was the only
Yeah,
time I
honey.
remember fainting. Any other time, yeah, that's the only time I remember fainting, like passing out, like, oh my God, I'm hot. But yeah, I don't remember a time where I was like feeling like that. I don't remember a time.
I was going to ask you, have you seen what's been going on with the straight folks today? Outside of political news, the only thing that I've really come across online thus far outside of shit that's going on in our community as well with people who we know. The story that I've seen that a lot of the straight folks is talking about, the straight Negroes is talking about, is T.I versus 50 Cent. Have you seen? Have you seen that, girl?
I seen the son posting a picture of his mama grave or something. I seen that.
Yeah. Talk about your mama dead, nigga. Go and bury that bitch up. Go and bury that bitch up. How you talk about my mama? My mama a whole legend out here. Honey, you dig up your mama. You go and dig up your mama, your dead ass mama. Go on and dig up your dead ass mama and take a picture of her and compare her to my mama. My mama a whole legend out here. We on a whole different level. We on a whole different level, nigga. Honey, and then after that, 50 Cent posts a picture of that frog meme with the frog crying, the cartoon frog crying, honey, and it had no cap.
Groyer, grouper, or Groyer frog.
I, girl, honey, no caption, no nothing. And the whole internet figured out that he was saying that that was King, that that was T.I and Tiny's son, that he looked like that frog or whatever, crying on the internet. I personally don't know why they even fall for 50 Cent shit. Like, he is a whole troll, like, and he's good at it. Like he's a troll that has built income streams off of trolling. Like, he's a troll who became a star from trolling. Like, he blew up as he was beefing with Ja Rule and trying to take Ja Rule's career down. Like, this man been trolling for 20, 30 years at this point, honey. King, and to be honest, I'm not overall, I'm just not a big fan of T.I and Tiny's son King. I think he's the epitome of a suburban nigga who wants to be hood so bad.
I
Like
agree.
like motherfucker, you grew up in suburbs, you went to private school. Like, why is you trying, like, nigga, sit your ass down. Go do what the rest of your siblings is doing, trying to excel off of their parents' money and fame. You or just sitting back chilling, spending their parents' money. You can't do neither the fuck one, honey. And then you get online and talk shit about your parents, but then be mad what other people do. Like, honey, ain't nobody thinking about. Everybody knows that Tiny looks like a duck. Everybody knows that T.I got that big ass ball spot in the middle, and he's trying to do any and everything he can to hold on to any piece of youth, because him growing old, that it goes against all of his Negroidian standards, honey. It goes against all of his Hotepian standards, because a Hotep can never age.
My thing is, I never really pay attention to them because they seem like a family of slow people.
Yeah.
Um, so, but it's funny. I just find it ironic that his son is wild and having babies with chicks and at this young age, and just looking like he do drugs, looking like he just looking quite
Looking like the nigga does drugs on live, Diamond.
yes.
I know you don't keep up with these nappy head children, and I mean nappy head in the worst way. Nappy head because their brain ain't fucking right. So any hair follicle that come up out of their head is just going to be all the fuck wrong, honey. Like this, I know you don't keep up with the child, but the child been getting high and using substances on his parents' social medias and shit since he was underage and shit, and was getting them in trouble and shit, having people swat their house with CPS and shit.
And so, yes,
Uh,
so I know, I just didn't, allegedly, I just didn't want to, my point was, ironically, how T.I was, went kind of viral for checking the hymen of his girls and blah, 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 blah. I was like, your ass should have been checking the mental health of your son instead of worrying about your
bitch.
daughter's coochie. You should have been worried about your sons. And that's what we talk about. Sometimes y'all be so patriarchal that y'all losing the plot on your other kids, worried about the girls. The girls were straight. It's this nigga who
Honey,
needs
it's
some regulation.
honey, and he should have known that from his motherfucker self because he don't have to admit it to the world. But nigga, you should know that you cockeyed cat shit crazy by now, T.I. Like you know that. You know that you was a lost cause, don't you? You know that you was neglected by your parents, don't you? You call it being independent, bitch. We call it child abuse, honey. Like T.I. Oh God, like I just can't. But I like watching battles like these. I ain't gonna lie. I like sitting back and watching the cis hats, especially the ignorant cis hats. I love to sit back and watch them battle. That's why I enjoy politics so much. I love to sit back and watch them battle because in this instance, especially with a rap beef, I don't give a fuck who loses. I'm going kiki regardless of who loses and who wins. I'm just going to enjoy the fight. Honey, they can both leave battered and bruised. That's what I'm going to do. Still have placed my bet, girl. I'm still going to get my coin off of my winners, girl.
I just like when they petty. I like when they're petty. I used remember Rihanna's petty era where she was responding
Oh,
to so many
baby.
things. That was good, especially when they're good at being petty and reading. It is my sickening. And so I love to see that they, not that I'm ever under any delusion that celebrities aren't human, but I just love when they show their humanity. Like they're not above being just as petty, just as messy, just as offended and trying to get their licks in just as us. And I love
For
that.
me, for me, honestly, girl, it shows personality
Yes.
because I understand enough about human behavior at this point to know that everybody has some pettiness in them. Everybody has, that reading spirit in them. For some of us, it's just a bit stronger than others. You know what I mean? For some of us, it dominates our personality. I might be talking about myself, but for me, it shows personality. It gets if I feel like it's a peek behind the curtain. I feel like it's an allowance into the to pass the velvet rope. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing them show anything that's not politically correct and safe whenever a celebrity or a public figure is doing something that's not politically correct or safe. I live for it as long as they're not hurting any group of people in the process. You hurt a couple motherfuckers. You hit who you aiming at. You know what I mean? But don't come out here and be straight calling nobody no faggots and all of that, girl. We not giving y'all allowance to do that no more, honey.
That is something I heard recently on a video. He was like, "Y'all need to be careful with throwing this word punk around." And ironically, based on our conversation last week, which was to me full of misogyny and turfy bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Agreed.
I feel like it's interesting that he said I'm hearing people kind of give some pushback on how popular calling people punks is in the world, and I'm like, well, from the South, that punk is like calling somebody fag.
Uh-huh.
That's the equivalent. Both of them is kind of equivalent. And so I'm seeing more people online that are not gay men, that are not in the culture, using that like normal. And it's like I'm seeing people kind of push back on that language. What do you feel about that?
Honey, girl, honey, punk is in their mouth more than toothpaste, and that's the motherfucking problem, honey. If they brush their teeth as much as they speak derogatory about homosexuals, all the niggas in America would have crystal clean teeth, honey. Would nobody even need no veneers, bitch? But they love the word punk, they love the word sissy, they still love the word faggot, and I feel like they just love any opportunity. I feel like we as a culture, I can't even put it all on them. I feel like we as a culture love honestly, we love any opportunity to be derogatory. I think Americans like we love to be messy. I think it's an American thing, honestly. As I get more and more into expanding my horizons, girl, I'm starting to feel like it's an American thing. Like we just enjoy being a messy set, honey. We enjoy breaking a bitch down. We enjoy reading a bitch. We enjoy reminding a motherfucker that they human, honey. And then in the same token, then we want to build a motherfucker up when they the underdog. But then it's when we get their ass, when we got their ass on the ground on their knees kneeling, then we want to pick them up. We want to give them a hand to lift their ass back up. Victory, victory is mine.
My thing,
but yeah,
my
go
thing
ahead. I'm
is
sorry.
they always I think what's going on with our culture now is the waters are getting too murky, is getting too blended because of the internet. Everybody is in each other's either fan base, I don't want to say fan base, but circle of algorithms, circle of community on the internet. And so there's this osmosis that's happening in a way that didn't happen in previous cultures. And so we're getting we're getting slang from other countries. They're getting slang from us. They're integrating. Cultures are so blended on the internet that it's just starting to be. I hear people talk about we need to bring back gatekeeping and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of hard to do that when we're all listening to some of the same videos, listening to some of the same personalities, and I just think that the cultural waters, and not just on no LGBT lane, we're vibrant people, so of course they're gonna snatch some of the many of the shit from us, LGBT and Black. And when you stand at the intersection of both of them, you just you're a culture connoisseur, and you
Yeah,
creative
we
that
known to be
makes it.
trendsetters.
Right, trendsetter. So it's especially trends, but not just trends, but people who are making culture in the moment because they are a great personality. Think about even people, even Dominique Morgan. Like I'm hearing people say, imagine, just
Imagine.
imagine that, and just Maddie, the Puerto Rican. We because of our personalities as people these things can catch on really quick
Hmm.
and that's just what it is. And so and because of the internet it spreads fast and it goes further. So I don't know if that's avoidable or it's just where we are now in regards to our connection as people.
I I don't think it's avoidable. I think we're becoming more
Homogenous.
interconnected and yeah, I feel like we're becoming more interconnected. We're becoming more of a global society day by day. I mean, right now, um, the biggest thing that we have international when it comes to international society, global communication. The biggest thing that we have now is specifically for us who born and raised in the United States. We are less likely to be bilingual or multilingual if you grew up in the States. So the biggest thing for us is language barrier. But now they're literally with people like me and you, they're dubbing our voices and our content in other languages, literally. Like people have the option of yeah, and now they have the AirPods that can translate for you as you're listening to people talk. I plan on investing in a pair before we go to Thailand.
Yeah, so let us know what y'all think about this homogenization. What y'all think about this beef between T.I. and his children, the Teeny and T.I. and Tiny family and 50 Cent. Yeah, what y'all think about what's going on and the homogenization of culture? Should we be gatekeeping a little bit more? Is it even possible because of the internet and social media to gatekeep culture in that kind of way? Let us know what you think. Hashtag Marsha's Plate.
Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
La 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 la. Oh my God, I want to thank all of our new patrons this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, 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 yay. So, not only are you helping to sustain this particular podcast, I also donate to other podcasts, I donate to other organizations. I have my finger on the pulse of the community. And I know a lot of grassroots organizations that are doing great work out here. So you're not only helping to sustain us, you're helping to sustain other people in a community because I put my money where my mouth is. That's just the kind of bitch I am. Community is fuck. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you. And if you have not become a patron, why have you not? You can donate as low as $1 a month. It doesn't matter. Anything helps. Please. Do I have to play Sarah McLachlan and show you puppies? Like, what do I have to do? Do I have to resort to what the white people do to get you to give them money?
Anyway, the link is in the bottom. Back to the show. Sinners won big at the BAFTA Awards, which is the kind of like the Oscars in Britain, in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And they won. They took away the best original screenplay, I think. Original screenplay, and best supporting actress was the girl that plays Smoke's girlfriend, Winnie. Is it Winnie? What's she play? I don't God, what's her name? Damn. I can't pronounce it because
I
it's
can't.
I can't
Yeah, I
pronounce it.
can't.
The
I can't
beautiful
think of her
chocolate
character
plus size
name.
girl that play the girlfriend of Smoke on the show. She won best supporting
She
actress.
was the herbalist. She was like the medicine
The
lady.
Hoodoo Woman. She played Annie on Sinners, and her name is Wumi Musako. Wunmimosaku. Musaku. I think that's how
I
you say
think
it.
it's pronounced Umi Musaku or
Okay.
Umi Musaku.
Yes, so beautiful. She played in also Lovecraft Country. She just is dope. She's a dope actress, and she just won her first in her country because I think she's from the UK. Um in her country she won a BAFTA award, and I think that's dope. So, during one of the moments, I didn't watch it, so I don't know what I'm describing, but one of the moments, um, Michael B. Jordan and
And Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo, were they presenting
Mm-hmm.
they were presenting an award, and there is a white man who has Tourette's syndrome, and he hollers out the N word hard R. Now, if you know about Tourette's syndrome, these are people who have tics who do like random, it kind of has random shit. What do you think about Tourette's? Like, it's like random. Their tics can be random. They can say random things. They can do different things. It can kind of be twitchy. It can be blurting out noises. I know a girl who kind of does kind of like whistles, like her Tourette's makes her
Mm-hmm.
like whistle notes sometimes. Um, yeah. So
It's
during one of the presentations, somebody with Tourette's who he's there because his story was told in one of the films that was getting honored. And in his Tourette's, in his one of his spastic moments, he blurts out nigger while Michael B. Jordan and Mr. Lindo was on stage. And it kind of has made people it has made people kind of, it's a controversial moment happening. What was your initial thoughts when you heard about it?
This is actually a pretty common disorder. There's even people with Tourette syndrome who don't even realize that they have it. By definition, Tourette syndrome is neurodevelopmental. It's a disorder. It comes with involuntary, repetitive motor and vocal tics. Like Diamond was saying, is things that people may do physically, like blinking their eyes, shrugging their shoulders, um, snapping their fingers. It's things that people do motor wise. I mean, motor is what I just described, but vocally, of course, is usually verbal things. They're known for screaming out, blurting out obscenities. Actually, slurs are the most common for people who deal with severe vocal and verbal Tourettes. They're likely screaming out words like nigga, bitch, fag. I mean, anything negative that you could think of to describe a group of people. Um, so I'm conflicted. Like I grew up with a teacher who had Tourette's, but for her it was motor. She had motor tics. She would um involuntarily and unconsciously shrug her shoulder at times, and I made fun of her at one point because I didn't know. I was a kid. This was elementary school, and I ended up finding out that she couldn't control it, and that's all I needed to know to not make fun of her. I just thought it was a thing that she did. I honestly thought it was a thing that she did to try and be cute because like the movement that she would make is like a stereotypical theatrical move that you would see of like a snooty person, like somebody putting their nose up to you. So I didn't realize, and of course, as a child, I didn't completely comprehend mental disorders and things like that.
I grew
I
up with
feel
somebody like
conflicted. You did. You grew up with somebody who had vocal Tourette's.
yeah, it was kind of like it was mostly motor, but it was light vocal. His was very light. So as I've talked about before, I grew up in a group home, and we had a little boy named David who was in the group home with us, and he had mostly motor, so he blinked a lot, squinted his eyes, and he sucked his thumb, so sometimes it'll be like a sucking sound when he would do in certain moments. He also his vocal stuff would be he would repeat words like words that you're saying while you're talking. Like he would say them out
Mm-hmm.
loud.
Mm-hmm.
But most of his was physical, but he would during his spats during his moments have just kind of say random words the or it wouldn't be random, it wouldn't be random in a sense of like just saying obscenities and blurting them out. It would be while you're talking, he's saying like I just did. He's saying this and going through the process. Like he'll just say a random word that you just used in the middle of y'all talking, or a middle. You don't even got to be talking to him. It could be he just in the room and he's repeating the word that you're saying, and it's not a significant. It's not like has to be a word at the end of the sentence. It don't have to rhyme. It's no rhyme or reason. It could be the and whatever word that his brain says repeat, he is gonna repeat it, and it's just random. So when you first around him, it's kind of annoying because it's almost like, are you mocking me? Or like what is going when you first meet him, it's kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with this boy? Especially when I was young, and I didn't understand it. I'm in my teens too. So I'm like, I never met nobody like this. And so him also he had other shit that was around wrong with I don't want to say wrong with him shit. That's bad to say. But he used to pee in the bed, and so we would have to get on him because, honey, as soon as you open his door, he smelled like fucking piss. And we like, nigga, why don't you go wash the sheets? Why don't you, instead of just not telling nobody, figure it out? Um, but he just had a lot of mental issues. He had a lot of trauma and all that kind of shit. And so, but he was a kid too. He was a child. Like he was like
Right.
12. And so, but he was on Ritalin. He just was the first person that I met in my life um, who had mental stuff that I was like, I didn't register that this is mental stuff too. I'm like, oh, I ain't never seen no mental
You
stuff like
didn't even think that people could be
be
capable
like
of
this.
these things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have a sense of what quote unquote crazy is from TV
Crazy.
and
Yeah,
da da
yeah.
da da da. But and these stereotypical things, but this is I'm like, oh, he's normal, but he's not. And it's kind of like it was like this is my first time coming into into contact with these type of disorders, which actually, which is what got me into being into psychology too, and wanting to study it and wanting to kind of go down that rabbit hole of mental health and mental illnesses and um, you know, biopsychology and just different stuff like that, because he actually was the first person that kind of sparked my interest in, oh, how does this even work? And so yeah, he definitely had Tourette's, and it was mostly motor, but the vocal stuff was he would repeat words that you people he would be hearing in mid conversation that was irrelevant to what was going on.
Copro Coprolalia, I believe is the word for the specific type of Tourette syndrome that causes people to blurt out slurs. And I just wanted to share that. For one, I think it's a fun fact, coprolalia, and also because it is common enough in humanity for them to give it a name, for there to be a name. So I just want people to keep that in mind. I'm not trying to make any excuses, but I understand how, and being somebody who lives with mental health issues, I understand how it's involuntary. Like, I'm a person, I don't choose to be depressed when I go through bouts of depression. I don't choose to be anxious when I'm having a panic attack. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine. And I do want to add further context to the incident. The guy's name is John Davison. He is Scottish, from the UK. He is actually advocate and activist for people with Tourette syndrome. Like Diamond said, he was there because there was a film made about his life. He doesn't have a history of racism, that we know of. At least he that we don't have any incidents where he's been publicized previous to this, using any racial slurs or anything like that. He apologized. He said that he feels deeply mortified after the slur was said, after he blurted it out. He actually left the auditorium. He left where they were screening and shooting BAFTA, and he watched the rest of the ceremony from backstage on a monitor, because he didn't want to risk blurting out something else. The BBC also apologized. No, not the BBC. You nasty motherfuckers is thinking about the British Broadcasting Network, British Broadcasting Channel, honey. They apologized and said that um, they apologized essentially for not blurting out the slur, so that we didn't hear it.
That's so
But
fucking
that's
weird.
hard. But it would I could see how they wouldn't, especially when a show is live or semi live. You might have a 5 second, 10-second delay, and them blurting out the word, which he said in the middle of them speaking, would have cut out what they were saying as well. So I can understand how somebody behind the scenes in production could have been like, "What do I do? Do I cut Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, or not?" You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just think it was an example that Tourette syndrome is real. This does not, from a psychological standpoint, this does not mean that John Davison is racist. This is not proof that he is racist. Many times, people with Tourette syndrome, with coprolalia, um, form of Tourette syndrome, especially, the slurs and the words that they use are words that they would typically not use voluntarily. Words that they would never voluntarily use, actually. So you know how we have this thing, most people have a thing in the back of their mind where there's just words that we don't say and we don't use because they make us feel uncomfortable using them.
It's a
Well,
regulatory thing.
yeah, yeah. For a lot of people with Tourette's, that same box of words that they would never use, their Tourette's or coprolalia specifically, which is a form of anxiety. It opens that box up, and that's when the outbursts come.
I think also, I think, wow. we can I want to say absolve. That's the best word I can think of right now. I'm sorry if I'm not thinking of a better word. We can give him grace and let him slide because we know what Tourette's is and we get it. But we can also we can this can be a both and moment where we can
Mm-hmm.
hold care for these two black men who was on stage in a beautiful moment of their career, and it is railroaded by this historical disgusting slur on the
Mm-hmm.
main stage, and how that is quite uncomfortable regardless if there is a legitimate understandable reason, excuse, blah, 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 blah. We can also hold that this is a fucking uh, disgusting moment that these two black, one is a black American, well, both of them are black. One was born in London. Anyway, black people um had to live through, regardless if there was a reasoning, they too had to live through this embarrassing moment where this ugly word with its ugly history is thrown out in the middle of this moment for them, this career moment for them. And especially Lindo. What's his first name?
Delroy.
Delroy, especially Delroy, who is somebody. Delroy comes up in the era of Denzel Washington, comes up in the era of our greats. These are Denzel Washington is there. They grew up in the trenches together in acting, doing plays before they got famous,
That's his
and
contemporary.
that is his contemporary, and we are just now seeing him get not we've seen him in other roles, but this is a big role for him, a big moment for him in his career that he's been waiting on, that he's been on the grind. So especially him in this moment where I'm finally getting my just due, I'm finally getting some shine, and then bam, this ugly, disgusting historical context word comes up randomly from this white guy with Tourette's. Get it. I understand the Tourette syndrome, but it's still, we can hold both of those, the grace for him, but also understand, hold the grace for somebody a black person who is dealing with this on the main stage and it's outshining their fucking moment, this beautiful moment of them winning and their colleagues winning awards and amazing awards. Like, we're not even talking about the film and their performances. We're talking about this ugly word that has been spewed out during that thing. And I think we can hold the care and wanting to care for them and wanting to kind of switch because if it's, I feel like there's a level of coddling that we have to do because motherfuckers would be like, oh, the race card. And we always got to coddle white people in that regards. Do you see what I'm saying? And be like, oh, he has
Mm-hmm.
Tourette's. He didn't mean it. Like we know what Tourette's fucking is. We know it and we get it. We he was there because he has the Tourette's, yes. But we can
Mm-hmm.
also hold that this was a shitty ass situation for the black people on the stage dealing with this. And while we understand that this is something he couldn't control, they need a hug and tenderness and love and that coddling too. We hate that you had to deal with this in your moment of shine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Being somebody who honestly interacts with a lot of people who average people may not even come across because these are the kids who were in the special classes in school, so they weren't integrated with everybody else. These are the kids, if you didn't grow up in a group home situation, you may have never come across these kind of kids and these kind of people. So there are, I don't know if Delroy and Michael B. Jordan are aware of Tourette's. So I just want to make this statement to remind those brothers that it's nothing about them. You know, it's this ain't their problem, this ain't their issue. Yes, it intruded on their moment and they will forever be affected by this, but I don't want them to take it personally. I'm confident that their work speaks for itself. I'm confident that Sinners speaks for itself, and I don't think that this is going to be a Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident. I don't think that this is something that's going to overshadow either one of their careers. But on the same hand, y'all know that I'm pro motherfucking black, and I'm never here for no cracker saying no fucking nigga. But I I may have at some point, or may have now, a Caucasian patient who deals with similar issues, and I want them to know that they are understood in my space as well. But I can do both. Like you said, it's a both and situation. I can do both and. I can understand Tourette's, and I can support my brothers who had to experience this horrible situation. They didn't have to, but unfortunately, they did experience this horrible situation on a night that was completely about celebrating them.
And I love that you gave the kind of the analogy, the metaphor of it, those special words, not special, those kind of bad words being in like a box in our brain. If we have a non-divergent brain, and and how we're able to regulate that these words are bad and blah 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 blah. It is racism and the nastiness of racism that even created a word that could be in that box. Do you see what I'm saying? Just the fact that this
Yeah.
racist word is in that box in our brains, all of our brains, so that where we have to regulate it. I think the fact, while yes, we understand Tourette's is not controllable, we also understand that this is a white man, and why this word is bad is because of the history of racism in our culture and in our world globally. And so these words that was meant to harm us are in the lexicon of bad words globally. And it's because of that negative, disgusting history. And which is why it's important not to erase the history so people can know that these are fucking bad words. These are disgusting words. These are disgusting language. This is how nasty we were to each other at some point, or to people were to us. This is the type of shit that we don't want to go back to. This is a history that we don't want to forget, but the reason why we don't want to forget it is because we don't want to repeat it. And so
Mm.
these words language is important. And even in the conversation that we had last week, um language is important. And it's the thing, if it's rooted in this negative, disgusting shit, we have to make sure that we are nipping it in the butt, and it's not us being sensitive or us playing the race card, or it's us trying to create a world that is better for all of us to live in. We're just not randomly being harmed by language and words. And so it's important for us to acknowledge that, and acknowledge the history of that word. And so, yeah, well, we give grace for people who are neurodivergent and going through disorders and having things affect them like Tourette's syndrome. We also give grace to Black people who have to hear these kind of disgusting, Black people, trans people, queer people, anybody who has to hear disgusting language that is created to harm us, and in random situations, in microaggressions, in songs and whatever. Also give
Yeah.
grace when that shit is traumatizing us and we want to say something about it. And I think that was Jay's point last week, even though we were arguing, and I think some of it was rooted in trans misogyny, and because he was in a bubble. I think that is ultimately, because I think he's a good person, ultimately his goal was to make sure we were not reinforcing those negative language histories. So yes.
Yeah. And I think, to his point, he was also trying to make us aware that situations like this will exist if we persist in even reclaiming derogatory terms.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, let us know what y'all think about what happened at the BAFTAs, child. With the hard N word, honey. Hashtag Marsha's plate.
Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
So, girl, Naquan
Girl.
is locked up. They won't let him
Oh,
out. Locked up. They won't let
no.
him out.
No. Ah! Girl,
So
I
they
heard that
denied.
Naquandra. I heard that
LaQuandra
Naquandra.
Bells was denied.
Oh no, the bell was denied. I knew she had got arrested, but I ain't know the bell was denied. LaQuandra Palmero, bitch, honey. She is went from the DL Whisperer to the DL Whimper. Honey, I know her ass is whimpering behind the motherfucking bars, bitch. Honey, I bet she still got that dirty do-rag on with her jumpsuit, bitch. Honey, she ain't got her motherfucking lip gloss, bitch. You know the way she pops that shit on them lips is adjusted to that motherfucking lip gloss, honey. They have united with that motherfucking lip gloss, honey. Them lips could probably cut that bitch a shank. Them lips could probably make that bitch a shank right now, because I know they dry as a motherfucker. Girl, I'm not aggravated stalking, dead Cherry.
So yes, the notorious DL Whisperer has been arrested for aggravated stalking. Of course, if you have been living under a rock, this is a person who his 15 or 5 or 3 minutes of fame on the internet was about him spilling tea on DL men. And for some reason, that wasn't messy enough. And so he started to go ham on trans women and talk about threatening it, started threatening them and started speaking negatively on trans women. And then it just escalated and got bigger and bigger, where he was making death threats and actually showing up at Madison, T.S. Madison's house, pulling up there. And so Madison, like the rich woman that she is, played it like a rich woman and went and got a restraining order. And apparently he did something else to violate that restraining order that the court had put him on him. Madison and Dominique put a restraining court order on him, and I guess he did something else that would make it aggravated kidnapping, not aggravated stalking. And so he got arrested. And so he has a hearing on the 3rd or the 4th, but then he has another situation with the breaking the law in regards to that on the March 16th. And so, because of the nature of this case, his bail was denied. So he couldn't even make bail. So all the cis women and cis fans who maybe potentially could have bailed him out said the court said, nah, he gonna have to stay in here because clearly he don't know how to act right. And so we don't want nobody to be unsafe. He out here making death threats. And so I'm getting my life at at these turn of events.
Well, honey, I want to make everybody listening aware that this person is extremely violent, extremely volatile, extremely harmful to the LGBTQ plus community as a whole, harmful for Black women and Black men as a whole as well. Yeah, I suggest I'm on the bandwagon of reporting this person, because this person with their toxic following raised over $10,000 on GoFundMe for their legal defense. And I have been advocating to report this GoFundMe. I don't think that GoFundMe is aware of who this person is and what they have done. Otherwise, I don't think that GoFundMe would have given them the platform. So I'm encouraging everybody to report the GoFundMe. You can find the GoFundMe through my YouTube channel. I have a whole YouTube video explaining and breaking down how you can report and giving you a whole template. All you have to do is literally watch the video. It's only a few minutes long, and it's a kiki, and you will be doing something positive in the process. You will be stopping somebody who is harmful from getting support through Beyonce's internet. Now, if they want to go through Trump's internet, that's on them. They're gonna have to find another platform. But GoFundMe, we not having it. And if y'all don't know who this person is, it's the motherfucker I was just complaining about. Napalm, the bitch I was just complaining about the last motherfucking episode that we had. Well, shit, the last episode might have been a 2-part. But the motherfucker who reported me and had got me struck on my YouTube channel. Now get into this, y'all, honey, get into this. I had got struck on YouTube. This person had reported my video because I was telling the story of them being T.S. Madison's stalker. And then guess what happens? They locked up for being T.S. Madison's stalker. YouTube, yes, honey. I will take an apology in y'all cleaning my motherfucking record, honey, for that report, honey. And we just gonna count that week as a loss, honey. It's done, it's done and it's over. But honey, the next time I have a valid strike, yeah, I think we're
Right.
gonna have to ignore that one. I think it's only fair if we ignore the next one.
I want to say, I think it's absolutely sad of in the climate that we are in the climate that we are in politically. I don't want any of us harassed. Okay, I don't want. I'm not saying this that I don't want any of us to be in this situation at all. And when I say us, I'm not just talking about trans people. I'm talking about any of us in the degree any at any set intersection that I live at. Women, black, queer, trans, any of that. I don't.
For me, any marginalized people,
Yeah,
even a group that I don't
immigrants.
fit in,
Um,
cis women.
yes. If it is quite sad to me that in this political climate that the person who is going this far is a gay man.
Yikes!
You get what I'm saying? It's not MAGA. When we talking about killing Madison, talking about killing trans women, our our social commentators, our celebrities, da da da. You're talking about killing and stalking and shooting and pulling up and fighting. If I was to guess who would be doing some stupid, crazy shit like that, I would think MAGA. I would think,
I would
some
think a cis het straight white boy, ignorant country, angry jock, stupid white boy, and come to find out it's a a
feminine.
black queen, a black feminine queen, a black butch queen. Can't even say butch queen, honey. A black queen walking around in blouses, honey, with two tubes of lip gloss on her lips at any given time. Girl with a dirty do rag and these struggling ass locks. Like, are you serious, Miss Thing? Like, and on top of that, like you in Atlanta, the mecca of the black queen, and they just and you roam free, speaking like. But then again, honey, apparently the only time she would leave the house is to stalk Madison.
Yeah, I think it definitely is some
Because the
mental
girls, because
stuff.
I heard,
I think it's definitely
because
some
the Butch
mental health
Queens was
stuff
looking
going on.
for her even before
Go ahead.
the Butch Queens was looking for her even before she started coming for the trans women. Because for a long time I didn't even know who the child was, and she was blowing up amongst the straight people because she was talking about DLs and was trying to call all. And to backtrack on that real quick, in hindsight, me looking through some of this child's content and being exposed to some of this child's content, even the DL shit was bullshit. Like she talking about men are DL if they eat popsicles and bananas and all this old dumbass shit. Like bitch, well, a man ain't supposed to need potassium, bitch. Like you got the one dick, honey, to like a banana, bitch. You get niggas can't eat banana pudding now, girl. Like I
Stupid.
thought
Stupid.
dumb shit. Like that's bullshit. I keep telling y'all that it's not how you find the faggot, how you
Did you
find the queens.
see did you see him on Tasha K?
I couldn't stand looking at them two idiots and having to listen to them both at
Oh
the same
baby,
time. So I never seen it.
there is one part that you don't need to see it. Go on Erin Lang. She's been on the show. Go on her page. She shows it. So you don't have to watch the whole thing. But there's a moment because Tasha K is only having him on there because he's talking shit about Madison, and that's her arch nemesis other than Cardi B. And so she has him on there so he can pop his shit about Madison. But the gag is he gets on there and pop his shit about cis women, and it is so hilariously funny. They get into this conversations about how vaginas look, girl. And he says that black women all have stretched out roast beef looking ass pussies, and I thought they all looked like that because everyone that I saw was roast beef stressed out looking pussies, and that's so nasty and so gross. And he goes in, and Tasha's face is looking like like he did
Wow,
not just
bitch.
say that. But
She wasn't ready.
it goes with it because I know y'all bitches don't think that he's on y'all side. He just as misogynist as these niggas is when it comes to the female body. He is just as misogynist when it comes to
Even
trans
worse,
women.
cause he don't even want to fuck them, girl. He just want their coins. At least the niggas want to fuck him, honey. At least the niggas be thinking that they be in love with him and shit, honey. He don't even want to walk one of you bitches in the door. He don't want to hold the door open for one of you motherfuckers.
Cause he's in competition with you. He will fuck your man. Y'all making it seem like he's putting y'all on game or doing this out of care. It's not care. He's not putting you on anything. He will fuck your man. He will do what he needs. I talked about this on my live about it too. But y'all thinking he's on your side. He went on that platform and now out in the world is this video clip of him root and saying some crazy wild ass shit about black women's bodies. That's disgusting. And it's funny, but it's also trifling that you as a black woman, Tasha K, would allow him to be on your show to be messy and then not realize that he's opening the door for more anti-black rhetoric to be shared on the internet through you. Fooler, dumb bitch, fool, dumb bitch. I did not
Well,
like
honey,
that, but yeah.
she's a disgrace. She's a disgrace to black women, period, honey. She ain't never supported no black woman any motherfucking way. One of the reasons she can't stand Cardi fucking B is because she looks at Cardi B as a light-skinned black woman and not a Latina, not an Afro-Caribbean. For real, she feels like she's in competition with that bitch too, honey, because she knows that that bitch probably is attracted to the same type of niggas that Tasha K wish she could have. Tasha K just has so much unhealed trauma, honey. Tasha need to be sitting on somebody's couch. And yeah, Tasha, carry a bottle of wine in there. Just because you go to therapy don't mean that you can't drink your bottle of wine in there. You can be getting treated for substance abuse and be high on the substance while you're in the fucking counseling session. Honey, Tasha, like you can't. Tasha, sit on somebody's couch. We don't want to hear it, bitch. You wasn't ready for the Arby's read. You didn't let this my God, I'm not going to use that word, but you didn't let this slow ass faggot sit up on your goddamn platform, honey, bitch, and talk crazy about you. And the shade is that ain't even an original motherfucking read. Because if y'all check the motherfucking live stream with me and the sister, oh shit, her name is slipping me right now. But if y'all check my motherfucking LA trans talk, honey, baby, you'll see me pulling the roast beef read. But the difference is, honey, I eat the roast beef, honey. I love me a Arby's, honey. I love that motherfucker
Well,
don't even love y'all.
well, I find it to be interesting. I find it to be interesting that he's in jail. Also, um, we got an update on speaking of the girls that are involved in that case. The update on from what I'm to know, let me read it. The update on hold on one second. So apparently on I'll have to call and text and because I am connected to Dominique Morgan, but apparently Morgan, they're saying that Morgan pled guilty to grand larceny and falsifying 23 business records in the King County Supreme Court in Brooklyn on February the 11th, 2026. And so sentencing for Dominique Morgan, the hearing sentencing is scheduled for April 29th, 2006 at 9 a.m. So if you didn't know, this is one of the people that um, Naquan was threatening. And so if you didn't know, Dominique Morgan pled guilty for stealing nearly 100K for a Brooklyn not from a Brooklyn nonprofit, and apparently it was for some bail funds, Okra Project, and so many details in regards to that. So apparently she has pled guilty to it. I hadn't heard that until recently. But yeah, so they're waiting on the sentences hearing, and she could be um facing 15 years. What do you think about that?
I'm devastated.
Mm.
I'm heartbroken. Um, and I really honestly don't have much to say, honey. It's very street code for me, honey. I'm very much rooting for the sister. I'm very much sticking beside her, honey. Even if she did steal them people money, honey, reparations and shit. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna stick beside her. Just keeping it 100 with you. I don't know nothing. I don't know. I ain't seen nothing. You know, I'm blind. I'm Beyonce to it all. Um, but I'm devastated. I feel like they coming for my sister. They always trying to keep a Black trans woman down. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Diamond, skip me because I'm ready to start kicking because I'm sticking beside my sister.
I get what you're saying. That is of I consider Dominique a friend, but there's also some nuances that I wish she would speak. I want Dominique to speak out now that she done pled guilty. I want her to before she's in the clink too, in the clink with Naquan. Before that happened, I want her to tell more details because there are details that I know that gives this case a little bit more nuance, but it's not my business to tell. And being that's my friend, I need you to tell it. It's your business, so I need you to tell it. And so there's nuances to where I don't think that this is just a cut dry thing of I'm stealing money. It is a lot of weird fucking setup type of shit. Bitches that set her up in situations that got her here, and they acting like that wasn't what it was. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of trans women,
Uh-huh.
not
Other trans women of color.
other trans women of color that was involved with making this get bigger than what it was. So I find that to be I would want her to share her side of the story before anything goes out. So yeah, we shout out to Dominique Morgan. She's dope. She's funny. She's she's impactful in regards to philanthropy and what she has brought to community, and even prior to this iteration of herself and her history. So yeah, I want her to spill the beans before anything goes down and spill the tea. So yeah. Anyway, let us know what y'all think about what's going on with Naquan being locked up, what's going on with Dominique Morgan, what's going on with T.S. Madison. And yeah, hashtag Marsha's Play. Let us know what y'all feel.
Honey, hashtag MARSHASPLACE. Girl, I might not have threw Dominique onto the bus, honey, but Cat Blaque gots to go, bitch. She gots to get sister. Cat Blaque, you gots to get the good years cross your back, cause girl, you inspired this topic this week, girl. Honey, I know you can see in the background. I know you can see behind me. A white man is choking a Black woman who is naked and tied up in ropes. The Black woman is naked and tied up in ropes. The white man is fully clothed. He's the master. She's the slave. It's Cat Blaque. It's a picture of Cat Blaque, honey. I've been trying to ignore it. I've been trying to mind my motherfucking business. I know that everybody have their own kinks and their own shit that they do. Honey, I know that I have my stuff that I do. And I specifically try not to be judgmental of other people's sexuality specifically, just because I am pansexual and I am somebody who has been viewed during periods of my life as a gay male. Yes, yes, that is a mild picture. There are pictures of him choking her, like the one, like the one behind me. There are pictures of her being tied up and eagle sprawled and all the things. And again, being queer, being trans, I try not to be judgmental of what other people do in the bedroom. I try not to be judgmental of what other people do with their bodies and their genitals and all those things. However, every time I log into motherfucking Instagram, Kat wasn't satisfied with posting the damn post once. Kat has several motherfucking posts on her page for like a week and a half straight. Every time I log onto Instagram, I'm seeing Kat being slaved and whipped and chained and tortured by this motherfucking white man, honey. And then it's not like he's Brad Pitt, some goddamn body, bitch. You know what I mean? He's the white, he's the manager at Walmart, bitch, and got her tied up and shit, honey. He still got on his motherfucking uniform for Walmart. He still got on his Walmart slacks. He still got on his George slacks. Ain't George the company that makes slacks for Walmart, honey? Got on his motherfucking George slacks. Want to be choking somebody, honey. Want to be handcuffing somebody. Bitch, Kat, if you wanted to be handcuffed by a white man, bitch, all you had to do was go outside and drive 5 over the speed limit, bitch. Like, I'm not understanding what, girl, it hurts my stomach. It feels morally corrupt to me. And I know a huge part of it is my social awareness. I know a huge part of it is me being in touch with my Blackness, me being aware of my slave heritage, me being aware of white supremacy and how it's affecting me now, how it's affected my ancestors, how it will affect my offspring if I have any. Um, like it just it's so uncomfortable for me. It literally feels like every time I see a photo of a Black person in any BDSM, submissive, overtly submissive, exaggerated submissive. Even when the boy from Blaque 4 was when he gets out here in his dog mask and he lets these racially ambiguous and these mixed women walk him like a dog in the park and shit like that. Like I'm secondhand embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for my ancestors. You know what I mean? Like it's people who had this who gone through this treatment and by no choice. Like there was no choice in the matter. That is still a horrible stain on humanity's history. Slavery in any form, slavery as a whole, even the ways that we perpetuate slavery today. And this is somebody who is trans and Black and a public figure, and you have kids looking up to you. And for me, even if you are into this, like, I don't understand why she's so comfortable displaying this and like fighting for this online. Like, there's so many things to fight for as a Black trans woman, and this is the hill that you want to die on, letting white men degrade you publicly. And that's a whole nother thing. Like, if it's something you want to do in your bedroom, but then again, I had this mental conflict and I had this struggle. Like, Bree, that's not your fucking business. You know what I mean? Like, Bree, mind your motherfucking business. There are people who feel the exact same way about your gender identity, you know. Um, but again, my gender identity isn't bred in white supremacy. It's people who feel vitriol against the way I identify and the way I speak publicly and the things that I fight for. But the things that I fight for, I feel is completely different because I'm not fighting against marginalized communities. I mean, I'm not fighting against marginalized communities. I feel like perpetuating slave play, as a Black woman, perpetuating slave play and publicizing it as a Black woman, slave play with a Black man. I mean, slave play with a white man, with a white person in general, with somebody who's non-Black, and you are Black. I just feel like it's disgusting to me, but there's also that factor of I know that I know that kinks are bred in experience, and I know that kinks tend to be a form of how we express and or cope with various traumas. Can be. To me, not having Kat as a patient, just seeing her as a personality online, I I personally, based on other talking points that I've heard her make and other content of hers that I've gotten into, and also how she represents herself as a whole, um, I don't feel like it's healthy. I don't feel like it's a healthy image. But I'm curious of what you think regarding slave play, especially in a dynamic like this, or race play, especially in a dynamic like this where the Black person is being submissive.
Hmm. So I totally understand you. There is a reaction that I have. But it's not just in this scenario. There is when I see videos of like I love like oral sex kind of porn stuff. When I see Black boys sucking white peens, I'm like, skip. Like I have for my own personal taste, there is a ooh, or if I feel like if the white top is a little too aggressive and there is a discomfort that is in me that I will respond to. Now, I won't verbally respond to it if I see it in public, or if I see like if this wouldn't the reaction to Cat was not what you're having, even though I understand it. I'm also somebody who has been following Kat for years, and I just know who Kat is. I know who Kat is as a person, and her relation to race, her relation to gender is so different from mine that but I have, because she is a brilliant mind, she has thoughtfully discussed her perspective and her views and her experience, and I have a thorough understanding of who she is, I feel. And so when I see it with her, it is a level of freedom that we literally are fighting for. Like this is a consensual thing, and just like when I see women who are covered, like Muslim women who choose to cover, even though I think that's patriarchal, when I see women who want to be trad wives and living that stereotypical wife life, what feminism is to me is that you have a choice to do what you want to do. You're not forced in those situations, but if you want to be the bounded up Black girl and your white king is binding you up, you have a choice. It's consensual for you to do it or not. It's that is what the beauty and the freedom that I'm fighting for. So I know in the climate that we are in with it is kind of jarring, and it is like, ooh, yes, but since I know Kat, I know her. I know this is she's getting her fucking life. This is her tea. This is what she likes. So she is consenting. This because this is her sexual joy. This is her love, and so
Yeah.
I know that she is getting her life. And so How
And
dare
that makes
me?
me hate it more.
I know. That's why for me is how dare me who wants us as black trans women to have freedom to do whatever we want. How dare me look at that, even though it's absolutely disgusting to me and my taste in sexuality at all. How dare me take what I feel about all of that shit and place it on her when that takes away her freedom and her agency to do what she wants to do. If even if it is her ignoring the historical context of the stuff, that is her kink, that is her stuff, and I don't like to yuck anybody's yum. So if it's your yum, because what you eat don't make me shit. So if that's your yum, okay, girl, it's like, ooh, it ain't for me, but get your life. So that's how I feel about it. She's practicing the freedom that we want our girls to have. Don't you want to be free? Don't you want her to be free and enjoy love and pleasure like she wants to, centering herself and her desires?
Yes, yes, I do. I absolutely want her to be free as she's being caged by a white man, literally. I absolutely do want her.
Consensually.
Yeah, there are people who have consented to going back to jail. It's people who turn themselves in to be incarcerated, and I love their freedom. I absolutely love their freedom. Yes, but at the end of the day, again, yeah, she could do what she wants. She's grown. These are consenting adults. Um, but yeah, she put it out there for the world to consume. So I'm putting it out there. I'm sharing my disgust.
Now,
And
wait, wait,
before
wait, 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 wait. I also find it ironic that you are partnered with a white person.
I was about to say that. I was about to discuss that for all the people who about to send me hate mail and you are such a reverse racist and all of these things and blah blah blah. Yes, I am prejudiced. I'm not racist, but I do have prejudice against non-black people. I have prejudice against black people. I have prejudice against white people. I do. I have preconceived notions about people. If I see a group of men of any race, I'm going to be on guard and automatically feel unsafe. You know what I mean? Walking down the street, not knowing people. So yeah, I do have preconceived notions of people. I do have preconceived notions of things, but I in all actuality, my heart is a humanitarian. My heart is about equal opportunity, and when I do get to know people and I give myself the opportunity to get to know people regardless, I give people the benefit of the doubt. And at the end of the day, I only judge people based on how they treat me and what I know about them personally. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so with all that said, um, I just feel like I'm glad she has the freedom. I'm going to continue to fight for everybody to have the freedom, and I'm going to continue to fight for the freedom to be able to talk shit about people doing shit that makes me and anybody feel uncomfortable.
There is a conversation that I have discussed in other contexts, and I feel like it applies in this context too. So when I speak to men who try to have sex with me, but they try to have sex with me in a very specific, certain way with no kind of mutual. I'm a verse girl, so there is something I like to deal with other verse people who like to explore both sides of what we can do. But there are some men who come at me and they will try to get me to be nothing but a bottom. And they
Mm-hmm.
want to explore their sexuality with me in a way that's very specific. And they want to put their penis in my booty hole. They want me to put their penis in my mouth. And all of that is centering their pleasure. And so I always, and that does not work for me as a woman who likes to experience all my pleasure. And so what I always tell them is like, I understand that that is pleasurable. I'm not saying that sticking your penis in my butt is not pleasurable to you. I'm not saying that me putting my mouth on your penis is not pleasurable. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there are other pleasurable things that we can do that you are closing yourself off to because you're in this box of masculinity that men don't do A, B, C. Men do D, 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 D. So this whole box that you putting yourself in doesn't allow you to explore other sides of pleasure. So I am not the one for you. And so in that context, I think you understand what I'm talking about as a verse girl too, who plays different
Oh,
different balls.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't play that shit.
I also think that that can be applied to this situation where if you are a black person who likes to explore different layers of dominance and submission, and because of the nature of how race has played out in the country, you don't explore if you have a partner that's white and that is a part of your exploration, and because of that you don't explore it, you're missing out on another layer of pleasure that you could be, if you were totally free, you could be enjoying. If my, and I'm just saying this because my sexuality is not rooted in dominance and submission and that kind of stuff, but somebody who is into BDSM, into that, if you are, because of the world, saying, no, I'm never going to be on my knees in front of my white man and sucking his dick, that feel makes me feel like a bed wench. You can never explore the idea of submission ever because of the outside world's race shit. And so you are missing out on a whole different aspect of your other half of your sexuality because you're not exploring because of the world. That is not free. That is not
Oh my
that is not free. That's not having agency. You're literally caging yourself in because of the world. So I would say, and it's okay to be okay with that cage. I am one. I am one of the ones that there are certain things that I am caged on. But the freedom that I'm okay with it. I'm free enough to be okay with it. And so you have to think about that because it can't be, if especially I can only imagine if I had a white partner and I have all of these rules, it would be like, how can I be free? And same thing I would say to the guy. I don't want to be with you because I can't explore anything with you. You're gonna, as soon as I get to touching your booty hole, you like, oh no, 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 no. Bitch, how the fuck? Then now you're closing off my pleasure, and it's
I get
only
it.
centering yours. So no, that's how I think about it. I think about you putting yourself in a box all because of the world. So that's how I think about.
I get it. I get it. And I have to rebut. I have to rebut because there are some hypocrisies on my end. That's why I was over here over this bitch screaming. I mean, because there is quite a bit of hypocrisy on my part. Because I am somebody who is into exploring dominance and submission sexually. You know, that is a part of my sex life. Full disclosure, I am switchy. I'm somebody who can get pleasure out of being dominant and get pleasure out of being submissive. But I do have rules and I do have boundaries, and they are dependent on not just race but gender and identity as well. Like I'm more, a black man could be my could be my dom. A dark skinned man of another race could be my dom.
That's colorist.
But white a white man cannot. A white woman maybe.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. 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 I am in general more open to being submissive with women and with feminine people, period. A masculine partner would have to be open to being submissive for us to even be compatible at all. Yeah, I'm
So
not
even your
the
dom has to
dynamic.
be a little bit switchy.
No, I could be with somebody who's I could be with a feminine dom and be full time sub. Like, yeah,
Mm.
I could. That's how my switching and my versatility works. Depending on my partner, I could be a bottom. Depending on my partner, I could be a full time top. Depending on my partner, I may have to be versatile. Yeah, it really depends on my partner, and it speaks to my relationship with various identities outside of the bedroom.
Mm.
And I'm aware of that, and I know that, and that's why I'm aware that it's very likely for other people's kinks to evolve and to reflect similar,
And
in similar ways.
do you think it's a layer of like respectability, or maybe not respectability, but well, yeah, that's respectability. Like it's the fact that you're putting it on display. Like it's different if you're doing it behind closed door, but you are a black trans woman letting this nigga, and it's not just one post, it's multiple posts. It's like, girl, why are you doing this? And there is a
And
layer of
like you said, being on top of that, also being familiar with Kat and knowing that this is the kind of shit that she talks about and the kind of talking points that she pushes anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah, it is her. It is her.
Yeah,
It's her
yeah.
jam.
It is a respectability factor to it because I try to be realistic, and with me being somebody who does preach pro blackness, I definitely couldn't get away with that. I think that it would undermine a lot of shit that I have said and a lot of shit that I stand for if I post pictures of me. Even if I wouldn't even sign a contract to get paid to do a photo shoot like that for a brand that's I wouldn't want my face and my likeness attached to that, my name attached to it. Like,
Yeah, I think that there's a layer of respectability politics in that. While I understand it, it goes back to what I was saying that when it comes to what the freedom that I'm fighting for, there is some shit that pick me's do that I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing. Why are you doing this to us? But
mm-hmm.
the freedom that I want them to have, they get to choose to be that.
Yeah, and that's why I continue to support the sister cat because she is one of those people who I at the end of the day I think everybody is problematic or can be in their own way. I don't think I'm ever going to agree with any of me and you don't even agree 100% on things, you know what I mean? And I still love you down. So yeah, it's one of those things that I could definitely overlook because it is her choice, it is consensual and all the things, but I was just curious on how you saw it. Kat, I still love you down. Um, yeah, love you, sister. And honestly, I love your freedom, even though I don't agree with it. There has to be a contradiction. We can't all be speaking in the same language. And I know that you are speaking to people's freedom. So I completely get it. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to rant. Do you have any further ideas, Diamond?
No, that's no. I think that it's. I understand you, and I understand her. I get it.
Thank you. I appreciate. I say thank you because I appreciate being understood and I feel genuinely seen and heard here. Yes, and I hope y'all genuinely seeing and hearing what the hell I'm saying. And I want to know what y'all think. I want to know what y'all think about race play. I want to know what y'all think about slave play. I want to
Bonded.
know what y'all think of the publicity of it all, the openness of it all. Do you feel that there are some things that should be kept in the bedroom and there are some things that shouldn't be shared with society? Let us know and hashtag Marsha's Plate, hashtag MARSHASPLACE.
Gimme euphoria, more than peace of mind. It's the joy and space to change the
what is bringing you euphoria this week?
Oh, honey, we already talked about it, but I can revisit, honey. Naquisha Palmero, honey, boy, I love to see karma work out. Do you hear me, honey? Especially as I'm coming off of this strike, honey. I appreciated that. That was bringing me euphoria this week. Also seeing my sister Maddie start to get justice. Um, yeah. What else is bringing me euphoria this week? What have I been watching? I've been watching. No, I don't want to talk about watching them because they ratchet. I have started getting in my Golden Girl bag again. Um, I introduced my boyfriend to the show Matlock, the new revival of Matlock. We've been getting into that. I love the Black woman representation on the show. One of the main characters' name is Olympia, and she's like definition stereotypical boss bitch. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that on the screen. I love seeing her boss around white people. Um, yeah, that's been bringing me euphoria. It's so many euphorias. But yeah, I think those are the ones that are standing out today. Oh, what I cooked is bringing me euphoria. I cooked something. My boyfriend coerced me into cooking something that he likes when I cook a roast. He likes when I roast a beef. So yeah, so I roasted a beef, honey. Real quick, how I do mine, I poke a few holes in it, chop up fresh garlic, stuff the holes with garlic, you know, season it however you want to season. Don't forget your Worcestershire. Don't forget, you know, your salt and pepper at minimum, your meat tenderizer, throw in some potatoes, carrots. For me, when it comes to roast, I throw anything in the kitchen sink. My boyfriend don't eat mushrooms, so I didn't put no mushrooms in there, but potatoes, carrots, green peppers, onions, garlic, threw that in there. And then I made some corn on the cob. I made a street corn style, honey, a little bit sour cream on it. Um, Made some peas, caramelized some peas, honey, did a brown sugar caramel on there. Made some rolls, and yeah, it's something that's gonna hold me a couple of days because I can make that into sandwiches. Honey, I can do hash, you know, a couple different things when I make a roast. So yeah, but unfortunately it won't last long because my boyfriend has started eating the fucking roast before it was even done, before it was even finished. He kept hollering about he was checking it, but I didn't know that checking it involved the risk of potentially eating raw meat. But yeah, he was eating it as it was going on. What's bringing you euphoria?
There is the Supreme Court voted positively on the 20th of February. So last week, well, a couple of days ago. Yeah, last week, but a couple of days ago. Um they voted in favor against the fucking tariffs. The Supreme Court case, learning resources versus Trump. They said that it does not authorize. The Supreme Court said it does not author. It's not constitutional. It doesn't authorize the president to impose tariffs, and the decision invalidates widespread tariffs that's been going on imposed by the administration, including
Mm-hmm.
like the reciprocal tariffs and fentanyl related stuff. Rulings that kind of they ruled that it oversteps executive power boundaries, and breaches Congress's constitutional authority when it comes to levying taxes. And so the background of this is that this suit was brought by this educational toy company, um, learning resources and hand to mine. They challenged that the 10% baseline tariffs imposed on most goods they challenged that it was severely impacting their ability to import products and not manufacture in the U.S. And so the court ruled in their favor. And how this impacts is that it will shut down many of the tariffs and subsequent trade related duties. There is, to me, this decision opens the door. Not to me, I think this is what it is. This decision opens the door for potential refunds for people who have had to pay duty taxes. Now the process is going to be long to get them kind of reclaiming those funds. That's still going to be determined, but I think it opens up the door to be getting refunds for any kind of like tariffs that has happened. This seems to be like a major check when it comes to checking executive power, because what we have been seeing is that they've been doing all kind of crazy wild ass shit, and it seems like no checks and balances. And this is a positive thing that the Supreme Court does, that says we're still got a little bit of sanity. And so that brought me joy to see that, euphoria, that they're still kind of making decisions against this administration, even though they have a majority, conservative, a conservative majority. And so that brought me euphoria this week. And also, I went to Jin Chan restaurant in Atlanta this week with a bunch of queer leaders in the community, lawyers and activists, and we did something that I thought was really really dope. Like we spent the whole dinner naming 5 top of the mind things that are on your mind. 5. And so we all went around the table. And I thought it was beautiful because usually if you have a group dinner with people, you start the people who are talking to people are the people who are sitting next to each other. And so somebody on the other end of the table you don't really get to hear from because you on this end of the table. And it's kind of like you only talking to people you next to. But what this forces you to do is everybody is going around discussing, talking about something that's on their mind right at this moment, and we get to hear from everybody. And so it goes one at a time, and you do it 5 times, round, 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 round. And yes, you can interrupt and add your thoughts to whatever they bring to the table, but it forces the whole group to look and talk in one conversation as opposed to small conversations happening in a group. And just that little small little thing made the dinner even more enjoyable because I got to hear from every single body at the table. And we had dinner the night before, and it wasn't like that. We were all having our small little conversations, so I didn't get to hear from many of people. So that brought me joy, that little activity. So thank you, Sunu, for that activity. And it was dope. I loved it. And so that brought me euphoria. So let us know what's bringing y'all euphoria this week, and we will see y'all next week. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, and we will, honey. I swear.
Bye, y'all.
Well, that's it. Thank you for coming and getting a taste of Marsha's plate. You can listen to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you leave a review because we really need those 5 stars, y'all.
And go like our Facebook page and leave some comments. We will be posting exclusive content every Thursday, so you definitely don't want to miss out.
You can also follow us on Twitter and any other social media site at Marsha's Plate. If you'd like to donate or advertise with us, hit us up at diamondstylz@gmail.com. That's diamondstylz@gmail.com.
And that's it for us, y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You gonna say bye, Mia?
Oh, bye, y'all.
Every little thing's gonna be alright.